Hi, everybody. Welcome to Food Quest Passport here on my second live show on the Food Quest. Got a new tripod, so I got a better setup here, which is cool, and I'm gonna try a couple different angles. Tonight, what I did for food wise is I did poor man's nachos, I call it. Basically, it's just nachos with some. Let me try to. Yeah, basically, I made some nachos tonight for Food Quest from home. I'll show you here. Got Mountain Dew. They look kind of sad, but that's why I'm calling them poor man's nachos. Basically, I just got some salsa and some sour cream, some hot sauce. Nothing special. Normally, I usually like a nacho supreme kind of thing where you'd get like ground beef and stuff like that, but I just didn't want to do that. I wanted to keep it simple and light and easy. So it's just nachos tonight, nothing special. And I got the blue corn chips because they were on sale at the grocery store, so that was fun. The but yeah, the chips. Usually, I kind of like the blue corn. Honestly, the blue compared to the yellow or white corn or whatever. The blue's fun. I think it's like I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't know if blue corn's like healthier for you or what. But regardless, I don't know. But yeah, they're pretty basic. I don't know. I kind of wish I would have got some ground beef and like did like a whole nacho supreme thing. That would have been cool. But yeah, that's what I got for tonight. And then yeah, I just wanted to come on and have some nachos and go live again. It was pretty cool the first time I did it earlier in the week, and tonight is in Chicago is the Derrick Rose night at the Bulls game. So I got that playing along with some stuff in the theater room here on my projector, just some movies and stuff like that. This would have been a pretty cool game to go to, I think, of all the Bulls games. I haven't really watched the Bulls that much this season, or really a lot of NBA, but going to this game would have been definitely pretty cool. I'm sure tickets are hard to find too. That wouldn't surprise me. But I actually like they're playing all this like the Derrick Rose stuff too, like all the past like everybody's speaking about him as a player and all these documentaries and stuff like that and these like shows. I remember watching it. I remember being when he won the MVP. That was like my senior year of high school, and I remember watching like every single game. It was nuts. It was like you come home from school and then like eat dinner, and then it was either a Bulls or a Blackhawks game on, and literally like that's what it was. And he that year he won MVP was like I mean that was the best. That was literally like the funnest year watching every single game. I think we really thought like I really thought like man they could really win it and like to like and it was so exciting because like to get to play the Heat and play LeBron and D Wade and stuff at that time and I know they lost they ended up losing the series like 4-1 which sucked but they were in like every game I remember they were like down by one like every single game and like damn near like that series easily could have flipped which was crazy but. Yeah, it's I don't know, the Bulls now it's not really I don't know, it's just not the same anymore. And the team sucks. It was weird because like what's weird about that team is like 3 years ago they were really exciting and they had Lonzo, they had DeMar DeRozan, they had Zach LaVine. It was like, okay, Vucevic. And it was like, all right, cool. Maybe there's something to this and there's some sort of like swag to this and maybe we can and they were in like the number one seed in the first half of the season and then after that Lonzo got hurt and it just tanked and like I swear he was like such a vital piece to that team at that time. Now it's kind of whatever and he's like it seems like he's in and out of the lineup even though he's back. I don't know, it's really deflating and sad. It's like they never could figure it out. Even like the Derrick Rose years, like they were close. I mean, they were there and just couldn't get to the finals. Just couldn't get past LeBron. So, and then Derrick got hurt, obviously, and then that was kind of the end of it. But yeah, I don't know. My favorite Derrick Rose game, I think, that I've ever seen, like watched, was when he hit the game winner against Houston against the Rockets. And it was like 2010, I believe. It was MVP year. and they were down by 3. There wasn't a game winner. He hit it to tie, and they take the ball out in the half court, and everybody in the place knew Rose was getting the ball, and he just pulls up for a 3 and hits it, and it was awesome. And then of course they took it. It was at the United Center too in Chicago, and they took it into overtime and just won, and then ended up winning the game. So it was pretty cool. What's lame though about it? I saw on Twitter earlier that like I guess so they're doing this like ceremony tonight to honor Derrick Rose because like 1-4-25 was like all the numbers he wore throughout his career, and so they're honoring him tonight, but they literally, the Bulls posted a video where they were saying like, yeah, we're gonna honor him, we're gonna honor you next year too, but we're gonna retire your jersey next year. So instead of like retiring the jersey tonight and doing a whole thing, and like probably it looked like all his old teammates were in town, and it's a whole spectacle. Instead, it's literally like they're doing it next year as like another game. It's so like Chicago. You know what I mean? Like it's like, why? Just do it tonight and do like a whole thing and make it really special. Nope. They do a whole stupid video and they're like, yeah, well, so next year you're gonna come back, right? Because we're gonna retire your number. It's like, dude, come on. Like, what are we doing? And the team sucks. Like they're so mediocre. There's been rumors of trading everybody for months. It's just like, what are we doing? You know, like what is this? I don't know. I think I'll probably be way more invested in the Bulls again once they get some like good young players. Like I watch every Hawks game. Like I have my Hawks thing on too. I watch like most of the Hawks games, if not all of them. But that's because I like Bedard and stuff. I like Frank Nazar too. But yeah, it's just, I don't know. It's been rough, man, to be honest. It's not a good deal. But yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. But yeah, yeah, these nachos are pretty basic that I'm doing food quest wise tonight. I probably could have jazzed them up a little bit more. I got salsa verde, sour cream, the blue chips, a Mexican cheese blend, and then hot sauce. I thought about getting Pingo de Gallo, but I passed on that. I was like, I'd rather just do salsa verde and then go from there. So yeah, nachos on a food quest. That's one I never really truly explored in my travels and my adventures. Nachos are fun. I love, who doesn't like nachos? Everybody loves nachos. But I never really found like really great nachos. I guess I really haven't. I don't know. I never really like explored that realm and saw what that was gonna be like. Where I went to school in Peoria, like there was a place that had really good nachos, and they did like the fresh jalapeno peppers, like slices on them. That was really good. That was that was real good stuff. But yeah, the regular like nachos, especially around here, Chicago, or even like the other place I've been to, like I guess I never through my research and through my adventures, I never really found like, oh my god, these are the best nachos ever. You have to get these. This is, unless somebody knows of a place that I gotta check out, I'm in. But because who doesn't love? I love nachos. Yeah, nachos are great. So it's just not something that, I don't know. I guess that's one that I never really ventured out to look for, like pizza and burgers and things like that, like the normal stuff or whatever, chicken, whatever. Like those were always spots, but nachos were just not really a thing. So, but I'd love to explore it if I found, if there's a hot spot somewhere that's like, yo, this place has got the best nachos. Like, okay, say less. But this is part of the show with with Food Quest Passport, this live show that I'm gonna kind of try to do more. Is like with some home cooking stuff too. So like I'm gonna be back on live tomorrow, like before Bears-Packers game, or like around the first quarter. I'll play some of that. Probably get my take on the Bears and stuff too. But I want to talk about. I'm gonna dehydrate beef jerky. So I have an air fryer that's also a dehydrator. So, and I have the spices and the seasonings for it and stuff like that. And so I'm gonna dehydrate the beef jerky. It takes about 2 hours to dehydrate, and then there's like a trick to it, like as far as like you got to get the meat like basically up to temperature, and then you dehydrate it. So that's kind of that's my plan for tomorrow, is to try to do that, and then go on to the next thing, and later in the week or something. Whether that's picking up something for somewhere or trying a new, making something else that I can make them good at. So, like chicken wings, I'm very good at making, but I feel like I've kind of eaten a lot of chicken wings. The last live, we ate chicken wings, and those wings weren't that great, though. I wasn't impressed by those. So, but yeah, and then I'll do that during the part of the Bears game tomorrow, and then I don't know. I want to try to start like playing movies, because obviously you see behind me, I got all these VHS tapes. Here now that I have this like tripod set up, it's pretty cool. I can show you all the VHSs I have. Here, let me flip myself around. Yeah. So that's a poster, obviously Fantasia I have framed, some Disney posters I have framed. I showed this last time too. But these are all the videos I have. So, am I in the city? Yeah, I'm in Chicago. Yeah, so these are all the VHSs I had. I kind of explained this in the last live, but I got a lot of these. I've had these over the years. A lot of them I got at Goodwill in the last like handful of years, garage sales and stuff. So, a lot of different styles, a lot of different movies, so, yeah. I actually got them hung up by, like, command strips, so basically if I go into, like, say Mulan right here, I'll open it, and then I can, like, pull the tape out if I want, so yeah, that's kind of how it's set up. It's pretty cool. It took me about a couple of hours. That's my projector. My VHS is down there, very old school VHS, but yeah, so it's pretty cool. I got lights hung up around it. So it's funny because I'm missing like 4 tapes here. So I don't know. I need to get like 4 more tapes to complete like the kind of wall here, basically. There's a couple of movies I want to get to add to this that I have in mind, like Holes. If you remember Shia LaBeouf Holes, that movie from like 2003. That movie was great. Treasure Planet, that Disney movie. I never saw that movie, but I need to, because I heard it's very good and very underrated. But, yeah. So that's kind of my setup. It's pretty cool. But I think eventually I'll end up... eventually what I'll do is I'll probably, after like I do the live tomorrow, I'll probably start playing like the movies. Because I didn't realize on live you can do like dual screen. Like you can have like your face, and then you can have like a rectangle camera, and it's showing like what's facing here, which I think is kind of cool. So I just got to figure out my lighting a little bit better with the projector and stuff. But so yeah, it's that's probably my plan. I don't know. I'll probably just kind of do like movie nights and stuff too. I think one night I'll do the popcorn machine. I'll make popcorn. I have popcorn and candy over here. That's part of that table. I get my candy at the dollar store. It's kind of, when I go to the dollar store for the candy, though, it's kind of, obviously, since it's dollar store, it's like you're going to get what you get, but it's kind of limited, I feel like. Some candy, like, I don't know, I always get Reese's Pieces and Sour Patch Kids, and then, like, Swedish Fish. Those are kind of the main ones I get. I'll get M&M's, too, but there's not a huge array of assortment there. Maybe it's just my Dollar Tree, because it's kind of whatever. It's just a basic Dollar Tree, so that might be what it is. But yeah, it's, it's pretty cool. I like how I have it set up and everything. But yeah, so that's probably my plans with this moving forward. Is like kind of, so now that like the sports stuff is over, especially with Chicago sports and everything. Maybe with football, with the playoffs, I don't know. I'll probably have that on here and there, but yeah. You know what's crazy about this, though, with the Bulls game tonight? I was just thinking, like, it's kind of funny that, like, that, like, this game is going to be, like, their sold-out game, their busiest game of the season. It's, like, it kind of gives me flashbacks. So, like, last year, the Hawks, like, they were bad, right? They were the worst team in the league. It was them and the Sharks were up for the number 1 pick, basically. They got, like, the number 2 pick, if I believe. Yeah, number 2 pick. And they, it was like number 2 or number 3 pick in the draft. Anyway, so this game with the Derrick Rose reminds me of last year when the Hawks were really bad. They're losing every single game. Bedard's a rookie, but like he's the only like bright spot of the team. Goaltending was sucked. Defense was worse. It was all bad. but they had the game against Detroit and they honored Chris Chelios. You know, it was this whole spectacle. It was awesome. And then, of course, like Patrick Kane scores in overtime and wins the game, does the Showtime thing and all that. That's what this game kind of reminds me of a little bit. It kind of gives me that kind of vibe. Because, like, who cares about the Bulls right now? Like, I'm a Chicago sports fan. I watch all Chicago sports. Like, I don't give a crap about the Bulls. They're not good. They're not doing anything. Like, they need to trade everybody and start over. And they're just not doing it. It sucks. Like, we need to fast forward to the future because the present sucks. I heard that line, like, on one of the sports shows, like, last week. I thought it was funny. You're on the game tonight, but you couldn't justify the ticket prices. Yeah, I can imagine. I believe, yeah, I could see that. I know, that's how I felt about the Winter Classic the other day. I was like, man, I thought about going, but it was like damn near $200 a ticket. Then it was cold and raining out at Wrigley that day for New Year's Eve. I'm like, no way. I mean, the game tonight, yeah, I guess, but yeah, I don't know. It's like, how much fun is that going to be? And like, and the Bull. I mean, they're playing the Knicks. The Knicks are a good team. Like, I follow it. The Knicks they're going to be in the playoffs again. Like, we know that's happening. Like, if you remotely kind of follow NBA and stuff. So, yeah. I agree. Plus, not only you got to think about too, not only you spending your money on an expensive ticket, but you're gonna go there and get some beers if you're over 21. Like, you're gonna have a handful of beers, or if you're really having fun, probably gonna get something to eat, unless you go somewhere like Fulton Market or West Loop or something before the game, which is a possibility. That's a thing, but more than likely you're gonna get something at the game at the United Center. You're for sure going to get some beers. Like, that's a no-brainer. I mean, that'd be silly if I went there. Unless you're not drinking, then that's cool. But I'm definitely, if I'm going, I'm getting some beers. I'm double fisting for at least a couple quarters. That's actually my strategy when I go to different games and stuff. Like, I'll probably talk about this more tomorrow when I do the beef jerky dehydrating and put the Bears game on. By the way, the Bears playing the Packers tomorrow, so good luck. But anyway, so like, that's my strategy whenever I go to games, is like, what I'll do is like, I'll get a couple beers for myself, and then like go through exactly what it dropped 300 with the beer price. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, for sure. But what I do is like, I'll get a couple beers like at the start of the game, and then like if it's a football game, like by like second quarter I'll get another couple beers, and then go to the bathroom and then get another couple beers, and then usually I basically double fist the whole time. The reason I do that, it's a strategy I created a while back for myself, because I didn't want to keep getting up over and over and over again. I wanted to just like have my beers, sit there, watch the game, because when you're there, it's a lot. I mean, you're just into it, and you're just, I don't know, especially if you're a big fan of the team. Like, the last game I went to I actually went to Bears Lions on Thanksgiving, which was pretty cool. I went with my dad, and it was a really fun time. It was actually the game Matt Eberflus got fired, so that I can mark that down in my book as like as a life experience, as a fun. It wasn't. It was fun. It was a fun time, but like the game was, for me as a Bears fan, sucked. But yeah, it was. But it was cool. Like, the stadium was cool and stuff like that. And but that was my strategy there. I was just like, and it's cool nowadays, like with all the arenas now, where you can just, it's like a kiosk. A lot of them have the kiosk where you can just go up, grab your beers, and then drink them, and then that's it. So, same club as who is doing bar. You see, you can get Miller Lite. Really? That's interesting. What are the other beers you can get then? Just like Coors and Bud Light or whatever? I wonder if that's yeah, I wonder. But I know, it's funny, I haven't been to the UC in such a long time either. I do want to go to a Hawks game eventually, just to go, but I don't want to spend a bunch of money. I mean, but I figured, I was seeing tickets though, like even some of these games, like the game last night against Montreal, there's seats for like $25-$30. And I'm like, that's not bad to go to a Hawks game, so. Oh, Bud and Michelob, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, it's but for $25-$30, like for a Hawks game, I'm like, that's not bad. Modelo, yeah, I like Modelo kinda. I'm more of like I drink Corona a lot. That's kind of my go-to if I'm going out and about. I really like Dos Equis if I'm going in that range of drinking beers and stuff. But Modelo's cool too. I mess around with Modelo every once in a while, especially like on tap and stuff. That's cool. So yeah, it's but yeah, I don't know. I think eventually, hopefully, maybe here soon before the season's out, maybe I'll get to a game because I haven't been to the United Center in a while. I couldn't tell you the last time I went to the United Center for a game. I think the last game I went to, like last Bulls game I went to actually, was when the Bulls had when they had Lonzo DeMar and Levine Vucevic when that team was like in first place in it was like 2021 I think. And me and my buddy went to the first game that they played Charlotte, and so it was a Lonzo LaMelo Ball game. That was actually a really fun game. The Bulls won because they were playing super good during that time. They were kicking butt, but that game was just like really fun to like be there for and watch and stuff, and it was a good time. But that was actually the last Bulls game I think I went to, which is crazy. But I mean, every other game has kind of been whatever since then. And it's so lame too because well, they're gonna play in the play-in, and they've done this the last like 3 years. They'll get into that play-in tournament, and then it's like, well, who cares? They're not gonna win, whatever. They win the first game, and then it's like, oh man, okay, they have a chance. Well, you're gonna have to play the number 1 seed in the Boston Celtics. It's like, but it's like, well, maybe, I don't know. I'd like to see them actually in the playoffs for the first time in a long time, and they get to that second game, get your hopes up, and then they just piss it down their leg, basically. And it's just like, shoot, like, all that hope kind of thing. I feel like that's a lot of Chicago sports, though, in general. I mean, the Hawks, maybe not so much in the last few years because they've been rebuilding. But the Chicago Bears certainly have done that. I guess that'll kind of start, I'll talk about that a lot more tomorrow, like during the Bears game. But that's, yeah. That's my thoughts on that. So, but yeah, actually, when I went to the last Bulls game I went to, the Ball brothers like facing off, I actually did like a food quest there on TikTok. Like I think my videos are still on my account here from a while back, and they did pretty good. That was because we were sitting in the 300 level, and I was like, I had like a steak. I got this like steak sandwich that wasn't bad. I mean, there's a lot more stuff on the 100 level, obviously. I think like honey butter fried chicken's there. I forget what else. There's another restaurant there too. I was gonna say Small Cheval, but I don't think that's right. But anyway, there's quite a few different things. But I got the steak sandwich on like the 300 level. I thought it was pretty good actually. Beats like the hot. I mean, you would probably normally get like a beef there or a dog, but that steak sandwich thing I got was pretty good. It was, I forget what the restaurant was called, but it's on my videos from back in the thing. The other funny thing about the last Bulls game I went to, everybody in the stands in the stadium was chanting "Fire Nagy" when we were winning. That was funny because Matt Nagy used to be the coach of the Bears, so like "Fire Nagy." Yeah, that was funny. Yeah, I know, I agree. I think we'll be lucky to make the play-in game too. I'm with you there. Am I coming back? Coming back from what? Coming back to like make more videos? Yeah, we'll see if the playing game is. I don't know. And that's the thing too, right? It's like if you make the playing game, what does that look like? What does that, look like? How does that look? Are we gonna win? Like, do we win and then we lose it again? I mean, that's been the story last couple of years. So, the food quest. Oh, like coming back to make more videos, like I was doing. I'm kind of doing this for now to be more like camera facing, because I felt like the script, I was talking about that in my last live, that the videos I was making, it felt like it kind of just drained out after a while. But I do have a lot of videos on my phone, that like I kind of have back catalog, so like of all the places I've been. So like I did a lot of different videos in different cities like New York and LA and New Orleans, Texas, places like that. So I do have a lot of them back cataloged. So maybe eventually I like the generation of this live thing, so I'm more like camera facing, and I'll bring in more food too, not just like home cooked stuff, but kind of maybe probably do some revisits, especially in like Chicagoland. So like I'd love to go back to Bari Subs. That's one for sure. It'd be cool to do it again, maybe too, where like some new places like I talked about in my last live about Takambi and Fulton Market. So places like that. I know Prince Street Pizza's coming. That's in Fulton Market too. I've been there in New York before. Posted a video about that, but it'd be really fun to try that in Chicago. So, and maybe I could do it where it's more on live too. I'm kind of like getting my gears turned, but I do want to like involve it and change it more too. There's a lot of elements and pieces with this Food Quest thing. I wrote like a podcast children's show with it too that like I'm trying to work through as well. So that's turned pretty cool, kind of like a PBS kind of show. That's kind of fun. But yeah, I see that Rose is talking on here now too, so that's pretty. See, that's what I'm saying. They're gonna retire his jersey next season. Like that's kind of lame. It's like just do it tonight. Why not do it when everybody's here? Like what are we doing? Like it. You know what one of the saddest videos is when he got traded to the Knicks, and it was his agent BJ Armstrong that called him, and he was just like in tears. That was so sad. And I know he got injured, and it was like kind of time to move on, but damn, it's like what could have been. Have you tried Frankie's? No Crook Terrace. No, I haven't. What's Frankie's Deli? Is that just like a sub place, like another sandwich shop? My favorite sandwich places in Chicago. I made a top 10 list like a while back, like a video, but they one of my top 10s, like Bari is like one of my favorites. Tony's Deli in Edison Park, that's a good one too. I love that place. The owners are really friendly there, like the people that own it, they're really nice. But yeah, there's a lot of, D'Amato's Bakery is obviously a pretty popular spot. I see them a lot on TikTok now, actually, like over the last year. They do a lot of their videos and stuff. But yeah, JP Graziano's okay, they're good, but that's a sandwich shop, yeah. So there's a lot of good places, but it'd be fun to do some actual revisits and do it on live or kind of cut up the videos or something like that too, and kind of just be more engaging and more facing camera, because I think that's where I struggled in the past. Was I would do those videos, but I would do them as voiceovers and just jump cut the clips and stuff like that, which was fine. That's cool. It worked for a while, but after a while, I feel like the structure of the show and the script kind of just drained out a little bit, and it's damn. It's all right. So I tried different things, but I definitely would love to go back to those places. So you're out in Aurora, yeah. I don't know too many places out in Aurora. Not too many. I've been to, where's the place I was? There's a barbecue place I've been to out in, it's out in Harvey, I think it's called, Harvey, Illinois. It's kind of it's kind of near Aurora. One day I took a trip out there. It was called Southern Moon Barbecue or something, and then this ice cream shop. It was in this really small town, like basically west, a good probably 45 minutes to an hour west of Chicago, but it was pretty good. It was a little barbecue shop. There was a lot of memorabilia and history in there and stuff like that. The decor was really cool, but yeah. But yeah, there's a lot of places I'd like to kind of revisit and stuff and try. There's also still stuff on my it might have been Montgomery. Yeah, maybe. I forget what the restaurant's called. I have the video on my page, but yeah. But yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of places I still like to. There's also some places I'd like to visit too that I haven't been to yet that I'd like to go do in the city. Not just kind of South Loop area. I actually haven't been to Chinatown yet, if you can believe that, which is kind of nuts. But that's another place that would be fun to kind of explore too, and try to get footage for and content and stuff, and just try. But I honestly do a lot of stuff. I like popping around a lot in Fulton Market. I bounce around in Wicker Park sometimes too, because I'm near the Blue Line, so it's easy just to get down there. But Logan Square, I do sometimes. That was okay for a while. I feel like that Logan Square was a way cooler neighborhood before COVID, and now after COVID, I haven't been there in a long time, but But yeah, I don't know. Recently, I've been to my top pizza places. I love Vito Nick's. That's my favorite in Chicago. If I'm gonna do deep dish, which I'm not a huge fan of, I'll do Pequod's probably. It's probably my spot if I'm going for a deep dish. And then as far as other pizza places, yeah, I don't know. I mean, Vito's my top. Places around me are good. Like Dino's Pizzas in my neighborhood, that's pretty good. Gio's is not too far. That's a like these are all like tavern style slices basically. So, but yeah, that's the more Chicago style like pizzas that I like. Jimmy's Pizza Cafe is okay if you ever get there. It's like on the north side. They're known for their New York slices. So if you're looking for like a New York slice, that place isn't bad. They also do their own like beignets, which the beignets are good. I remember that was like I had the beignet when I went out there and did it. But then when I ventured to New Orleans, went to Cafe du Monde, like that just blew it out of the water. Like that was incredible. So yeah. Yeah, Vito Nix is down off of, what is it, off of Pulaski in 95th. So it's a little bit of a jaunt, but it's worth it. And the inside is where it's that cracker thin crust. That's what I like. That stuff is like, it's literally like crack. Like, it's so good. But, yeah, it's, but yeah, I mean, there's more pizza. Like I hope I wonder when, like, I was trying to research like when Prince Street opens up in Fulton Market, because that one I'd like to see what that's like here in Chicago, because I've had it in New York and it's really good. It's not my favorite style of pizza. It's kind of like a Detroit style or like a Roman style where it's that square cut but it's a little bit thicker. But I really like. But Prince Street, it was pretty good. But it's cool. When I was walking around Fulton Market one day and I saw it, I was like, oh, wow, this is coming here? I'm like, get out of here. But Takambi that came here from New York as well, and Takambi's pretty good. I like that. It's one of my taco places, I guess. But, yeah, it was pretty good. Yeah, now they're showing Derrick Rose against the Celtics. That was a game where they were in the first round of the playoff against them. I think Rose was a rookie then, right? And then they lost the series, but he had the game where he had like 40 or 50 points or whatever and just took it to Rondo. That was exciting too. Oh, on Taylor Street, yeah. Taylor Street's cool too, man. I like Mario's Lemonade Stand over there. Pompeii is a good place too if you're looking for some like Italian kind of cuisine and sandwiches and stuff. My friend's mom, who I'm friends with, she's like swears by that place, Pompeii. There's a lot of good spots over there. That's a cool little place to pop off to. I remember one time, well, I think one of the last times I was on Taylor Street was over like Memorial Day weekend like a couple years ago, and it was like beautiful outside and everyone and their mother was out. It was a really cool vibe. Like it was a good scene for sure. So yeah, it was definitely good. But yeah, there's a lot of good places on Taylor Street. Yeah, I mean, the Mario's Italian Lemonade's good too. If you're looking for like some good Italian ice, that's a good spot too. But yeah. But yeah, tonight it's just these nachos that I'm doing with Mountain Dew. Kind of sad looking nachos, I guess, but I just had to get some groceries for the week, basically, too. So I was like, I'm just gonna try to do something fun with some nachos. I don't normally eat nachos anyway, so I was like, I'll try something. But yeah, nothing fancy, but. So that was the thing I was thinking about too. Where'd you get the nachos? I made them. I did them from home. So I just got some ingredients, some sour cream, some hot sauce, some salsa verde, the blue corn chips, and then just kind of did a. I call them a poor, I'm calling it a poor man's nachos, or poor man's nacho supreme, however you wanna take it. What I'm missing is what I should have added. When I was thinking about it as I got home was I should have got some ground beef and did ground beef on it, and then did a thing that could have been fun, but I messed up on that. So yeah, maybe next time though. Maybe next time I'll do something different with that. But I'd love to find it. I'd love to find a place that does really good nachos, like in the city or somewhere. That was what I was saying earlier. I haven't really found a place like that, but maybe eventually I will. I feel like that's probably a bar thing, right? Like one of the bars in the area or something must have a good nacho. But yeah. So I don't know. I think yeah. Thanks. They're okay. The nachos. They're not like perfect, but they're okay for what they are. Um, yeah. So I think I'll probably start like with these lives too when I go on, and I'll get different food or try different things, and I'll I think I'll probably try to play some movies and then do that dual line thing, because I think I don't want to do it with like the games and get like taken down for copyright. I thought about doing that for the Bears game tomorrow, but I'm like I don't want to get in trouble and get taken down. I know some people do it, but and then it's also like too. Do you really want to watch the Bears game? I mean, I'm gonna put it on just because I'm just a diehard fan, sadly, but I got all these tapes that I keep in my background. That's why I thought it'd be cool to kind of do a whole show with it. I think that'll be my plan. One video I'll do too, I'll show how I make my popcorn in my popcorn maker. I have these like special popcorn bags that it comes with the oil and the salt and the kernels, and you put it all into the thing, I don't know what that mechanism's called, but the skillet, and then it pops all the popcorn. It's pretty good popcorn, yeah. But then over here I have like a little mini fridge, part of my theater room. It doesn't hold like a ton, but oh, they served it in a pizza pan. That's pretty cool. Yeah, yeah. That's a pretty cool. That sounds pretty good, actually. That's like party nachos or something. A large pizza pan plan. That's what that's like. That's like, yeah. You remember the trend? It was a few years ago or a couple years ago on TikTok where people would have their huge like island in their kitchen, and they would roll out the tin foil on the thing, and then they would dump all the nachos and the chips and stuff and do like that tabletop nachos thing. That's what that kind of reminds me of. That trend was crazy. Like everyone and their mother was doing that trend, and then, which I guess, I mean, I don't know. It was kind of fun to watch. I mean, and it makes sense why it was trending when it was. But did you see too? I forgot to mention this about the bowls. You see when Rose, like the other day, he had like a pop up flower shop of like roses, and people were lined up around the block. It was pretty crazy. And it like I guess it just like I didn't even hear anything about it until like literally the day he opened it. I saw it on Twitter and I was like, "Whoa, that's pretty cool." But yeah, that was pretty wild. So yeah, I think he was just selling roses if I remember right. But from what I was seeing, but yeah, it's just funny that they're just gonna yeah. Yeah, it's gonna be on YouTube. That's cool. I'll have to check that out. It's funny though that they're gonna retire his jersey next season. It's like what I still can't believe that. It's like just do it tonight. Like, well, yeah, and the Reinsdorfs, they gotta get butts in the seats, man. So it was like when they on ESPN 1000 like a week ago, they had this. They were talking about how like all the owners, yeah, it's another way to bring in money for sure. They were talking about how like the owners were, how all of them in Chicago are just they're just not great, right? Like the McCaskies aren't great at ownership. Like, all of them. Reinsdorf is brutal, and then they played a clip from Jerry Reinsdorf about the White Sox. I think it might have been last season or the season before, and he was talking about how like if the team, as long as the team like gets in or gets a chance to get into the playoffs, that's good enough for him. So like it doesn't matter if like obviously like it doesn't matter if they win a championship or get in the playoffs or anything. As long as they like get into the playoffs, like that's good enough. And like that was his whole thing, and it was just like it's just like accepting like mediocrity or like below mediocrity basically. I mean it was so like crazy. They were talking about it in ESPN 1000. I think it was Captain J Hood show. They were talking about it. It's like the clips on YouTube, I think, but it's nuts. But it is cool though that they got Simeon High School involved and all that. His whole past there, because he won at Simeon High School, right? State championship. He won at Memphis, and then of course bowls we never won, but we were close, but just never won. So yeah, it's it'll be interesting. I mean, to see, if the Bulls can. It'll be interesting to see what happens at the trade deadline. Like, are they going to trade? I would imagine hopefully they'll trade people, right? I mean, Zach LaVine's been talked about for how long? Same with Vucevic. I keep seeing rumors about Zion Williamson possibly being traded here. I don't know if I want that. That dude's like overweight and out of shape. Like that's not for me. But I guess if you need something that can, get the stuff going, then maybe, but get the juices going. I mean, remember with Zion, though, he was such an exciting player coming out of school that, like, he was supposed to be the next guy. So, we'll see. But, I guess I haven't seen many of your videos in a while. Yeah, thanks, Mike. I've been kind of venturing into different stuff, just from like writing books, writing like children's books. I kind of gone down that route. Did it with Food Quest, and kind of went back seat and studied more with like writing screenplays and stuff. So kind of stepped away from it, and I also had to kind of retailor how I was doing things too, because the videos I was doing were it kind of turned into burnout a little bit after a while. I talked about this on my last show. About there were some days where I literally went to like 6 different places because I just had like the day, and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go here, 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 and here. So, and like it was like a pizza, a hot dog, and it's like you eat one bite of each, you get your footage, and it's like, yeah, that was okay, or yeah, that wasn't great. That was nuts. Like after a while, you start to feel bad. Your stomach just turns nuts. It's like the guy from Man vs. Food. Like I think he did an interview like a while back, or like he was on a podcast. He's like, yeah, I just couldn't keep up with it. Because remember, he'd do those crazy challenges where it was like, you got to eat this, 50-inch pizza by yourself in 15 minutes. He did some crazy stuff, that guy. I have to try to rewatch that show, but we're in a bad cycle, rotating players in and out for years now. Yeah, I agree. I'm right there with you. It's been a thing for a long time. I mean, I don't know. It's been, ever since, yeah, I agree. For a long time, that's been like that. Good luck with you, thanks. Yeah, I think the live thing is cool, though. I think we're doing something different with this, and then trying to get more involved with this, too, with, just different foods. And I'll bring in different stuff, too, and try to do different things, home-cooked things. And the difference, too, was back then I wasn't never on camera. It was rare if I was on camera for, like, any of those videos. So, yeah, so we'll see. We'll see if... We'll see. I'll kind of keep this going and try to grow it more and move forward. So, yeah, I don't know how I felt. With DeMar, I know. I liked him too. He was like the last guy in the NBA that actually is like a mid-range shooter, and he was so good for the Bulls too. Even when they were like not great, he was still a solid player. He's still putting up 20, 25 points a night or whatever. That year, though, in 21, that was like remember when he hit like the 2-game winners? It was like New Year's Eve and then like New Year's Day or whatever, January 2nd, he had 2 back-to-back game winners. That was awesome. But yeah, I missed DeMar too. But I feel like too when they traded him, it was kind of like, okay, they're gonna trade LaVine or they're gonna trade DeMar, and it was like Lamar or DeMar DeRozan was kind of at that age where it was like he kind of had to let him go, I guess. I mean, they didn't have to, but it was like, and then they signed Zach LaVine to that contract, which was like, I knew at the time when they signed him, I was like, that was not the smart move. That was dumb. Like, he's not a max player, dude. Like, he's a guy that, like, you can get, he's another piece. Like, if he got traded to, like, Golden State or something, or if he got traded to some team like that, or, like, even, like, an OKC or something, a lot of people were saying the Lakers in the offseason, like, this past summer. Like, Lakers would make sense, because he would be just an added piece to that. But... And there's nights where he gets on fire, where he hits. I've watched games where he just does nonstop hitting threes, and then there's just games where he's just like a slouch. So, but there's a lot of, but yeah, we sign a lot of like people like that. They're just, they're just like veterans. Like Andre Drummond was kind of like that, but Andre Drummond was good. Like, I thought he was a solid player on the Bulls, and then he left. I mean, the Caruso trade definitely hurt too this offseason. Which, I get it, though, because of his age, and they didn't want to pay him. But I really liked Caruso. I thought he was a gamer. Like, he always, like, played hard and played really good defense and stuff. But yeah, and then they got Josh Giddey. And then Josh Giddey was the guy that got into all the drama and stuff in the offseason with the young girl. It was a whole thing. And I'm like, dang. I'm like, dude, this guy's on the Bulls now? I'm like, it's not it for me. I guess he's been okay, but I don't know. Yeah, they were talking about that too with this Derrick Rose ceremony. They were like, should he get a statue and like a jersey retirement, or should he just get his jersey retired into the rafters? And he was just like, no, I don't want the statue. He's like, I've seen how these statues are done. I don't want them. Like, the jersey that I'd love to get. He was like talking about the D Wade that statue and how it was like so like that statue was ugly in Miami. We're going to let LaVine go and then continue to rebuild. Yeah, that's what's going to happen. You're right, Victor. Yeah. Yeah, we're going to... Yeah, I just wonder what we're going to get for LaVine. I'm sure we're going to have to eat a lot of it. Like, it's not going to be... It's going to be pennies on a dollar, I feel like. If anything, if they might get something for Vucevic. I could see that being a thing. But at least a little piece. But, like... Yeah, LaVine is going to be penny. I feel like pennies. Which is sad and sucks, but honestly, I wouldn't even hate it if they tanked and if they were in the running for Cooper Flagg. The guy, I forget which college he goes to, but he's supposed to be the next thing. It would have been nice to get like Victor Wemby from the Spurs, because that was the year we had Connor Bedard with the Hawks, so like first pick. And then of course the Bears like traded out, but Duke, that's right, he goes to Duke, yeah. But he's supposed to be awesome, Cooper Flagg. He's supposed to be like a really amazing player, so. But yeah, I don't know. It's definitely been a sad time to be a Chicago sports fan. I'm not gonna lie. But the Hawks did win last night. I watched that game. That was a good game. So they bounced back. They beat the Canadians. It was pretty physical, like pretty physical game. But Soderblom, the goaltender, made some really good saves, and they got some offensive chances. But, I mean, I could probably talk about the Hawks in another video about what their problems are and what I think. I played hockey for like 13 years, so love watching the game and knowing it like the back of my hand. But yeah. But that's what I feel like the Bulls need, is just like another, like, they just need another exciting player. I mean, the guy they drafted this year, I forget his name, Martellus, but he was good, but he seems okay, but I don't know. There's just nobody. That's what was nice about Caruso, was like he was just a gamer, and him with Lonzo were just locked down defensively, and yeah, it was just so like awesome. So, yeah, so that's what I miss about that, but. I mean, Caruso now is on the Thunder, right, in Oklahoma City. So like, God, he's probably on his way he's probably on the way to the conference finals for sure. He's probably thinking title this year. I mean, with that team, that team is like the best team in the West, aren't they? I mean, right there with the top like 3 with like Denver and all them. So, but yeah, it should be pretty cool. VicTalk, cool. Thanks VicTalk for commenting and watching the live here. It's really awesome. Too bad sorry you couldn't go to the game tonight, but yeah, honestly, the game. I mean, you're probably right. It would have been like so much like money, and then you're paying. I mean, what are you paying a beer now at the United Center? Probably like $15, 15, for like a tall or whatever. So, I mean, at the Lions in Detroit when I was there for the Bears-Lions game on Thanksgiving, it was like $13 for a tall boy of Coors Light, basically, which was fine, I guess. I expected that, but to be what it was, and then you can get your hot dog at the kiosk too, but the hot dogs with like a hard as rock bun and a crappy hot dog. So you're gonna it's a stadium dog. It's like you get what you get, I guess. But yeah, so okay, well I think I'm done pretty far here. I talked a lot about the Bulls. I talked about my poor man nachos that are kind of sad. The funny thing is the chips I got for them, the blue chips. The blue corn or whatever, which I kind of like those compared to the other ones. They were actually on sale at the grocery store, so that was pretty cool. I was down for that. That was a lot of fun that I found. I try to find deals on stuff too. So one thing I like about when I do nachos is sour cream for me is what kind of brings it. You can bring all the spice and stuff with it if you want, but the sour cream is where it's at. Oh, you're going to the Bulls next Friday? Interesting. Who are they playing next Friday? Yeah, I thought about going to the Hawks game last night or going to it tomorrow. I was looking at that over the Christmas break about tickets just to go. Oh, they're playing the Wizards? Oh, that's an interesting game because the Wizards suck, though, don't they? So maybe they can get the dub on that game, get a win. But yeah, I looked at going to a Hawks game, but then I was like, and I'm like, oh, tomorrow would be cool to go see the Rangers, but then I'm like, no. Well, I kind of would like to watch the Bears. Even though I don't want to, but yeah, you'll enjoy the beers. Yeah, and it'll be, I mean, it's always fun to be at the United Center. I mean, I think, but yeah, the game could be, I don't know. Because I didn't know who's even on the Wizards anymore. Kyle Kuzma, right? From the Lakers. That's probably like one of their main players. Ouch. But yeah, the game because the Hawks play at 2 p.m. tomorrow, and then of course the Bears are at noon. But they're in Lambeau at Green Bay. God, I just hope they don't get smoked in that game. I mean, I could just see it. I mean, I'll bring in my beef jerky tomorrow and talk about it, but we'll see. I mean, I don't have any hope for the Bears right now, and they're trying to hire a new coach. I mean, I'll talk probably all that tomorrow, but. Yeah, I'd like to see them shock the world tomorrow. That would be, honestly, that would give me a little civil, like, that would be such a little glimmer of hope for, like, into the next season. I know we got to hire a coach and all that, and who knows if Ryan Pohl's sticking around. That's been total drama in the last, like, 2 months. But we'll see. I mean, that would be awesome if they could. I mean, Green Bay's in the playoffs, right? So they're just playing for seeding at this point, so I don't know. But if they beat Green Bay, they'd snap that 11-game losing streak. So that was actually, I'll probably talk about this more in live tomorrow. Yeah, it would be a nice ending to a sad year. I agree, Victor. Yeah, it definitely would. But that was one of my losses. The loss of the 10-game losing streak with the Bears, and I'll probably talk about this more tomorrow on live. The one I hated the most was the loss to the Packers. Because they literally needed a field goal to win it, and it got blocked. Like, the Hail Mary, I could kind of, like, that was deflating, and that ruined their season. But, like, for me, I felt like we could get over that, because they still had a good record. It was like they were still, like, 4-3, I think, after that. I'm like, okay, whatever. Like, that happened, but we can move past it, get our gears back. And that Packer game was, like, the chance, man. Like, you just had to beat them. Like, can't keep losing that team, and they lost, and that one hurt the most. It's like, how do you lose this team 11 times straight? And it's embarrassing, and it's just like I mean, hell, look at the Lions game a couple weeks ago where they did that trick play on us where he like tripped and then Gibbs like fake fell and he threw a touchdown. It's just, yeah, the Thanksgiving game, which I was in attendance for, and I watched that game. I was there and watched that live, and like I didn't know what Caleb was doing. I mean, I'll probably talk about this more tomorrow in the live with my homemade beef jerky. But I was just like, "What are we doing? Run the clock, run it! You gotta go, you gotta snap." It was like 10 seconds. I'm like, "You gotta put a play up. Let's go, let's go." And then game was over. Trying to hit Rome on like a post that was never gonna be there. So yeah, it was a fun game overall to see like live. It was cool. I did. There was like, I swear there was like hardly any Bears fans. Like I saw some here and there. There was a couple guys in front of us that were wearing Bears jerseys, but those Lions fans were rough. Like guys were heckling. Like I had my Bears like shirt on, like my polo and stuff, but like I was like, I kept like quiet because I was like, dude, this is like hostile environment here. Like it was pretty crazy, but it was a lot of fun. It was really cool, like the atmosphere, environment, and stuff. So. But yeah, we'll see. I'm pretty much excited for. We'll see what happens with all that, but yeah. And then the Hawks play tomorrow. I got 2, so I guess there'll be double games going on. Hawks, and then the Bears. What's cool about my theater room setup here, which where I'm filming right now, obviously I got the backdrop and I showed the projector. So I actually have I'll flip my camera around here. I actually have 2 setups. So like this is the projector screen. It's 100 inches. So a lot of times when I play 2 games, I'll have this going and then I have my regular TV going. So obviously I got the Bulls going on right now too. So I'll have like both games going like you're sitting at a bar or whatever. So it's pretty cool. I mean, it's a cool setup for sure, but yeah, it's pretty cool. It was kind of fun putting it together too with the projector because like certain ones like can project. You could obviously this is 100 inch, but you can get like 150 inches if you want or whatever. But like the size of my room, I had to kind of do the measurements and math on it because I'm like if I had a bigger screen, I don't think the picture would have worked out. So there was a whole kind of process to it, which was pretty cool to learn and figure out. And like, okay, it's got to be this much depth. This is how far you can project to this much. Screen of quality and stuff like that. So, but yeah, and the crazy thing is too, this could be, I guess, another video, but this game's on CSN right now, the antenna TV channel for the Chicago Bulls, Hawks, and White Sox. And then they do a couple of shows. So they basically replace like NBC Chicago. And it was funny because when it first came on for like a month and a half, I haven't seen it lately, but for a while, for a good like month and a half there, maybe even 2 months, people on Twitter were freaking out about the antenna. And they're like, I don't have it. It's not coming in. What's going on? It's not on YouTube TV. It's not on this. And it was a whole thing. And so I actually have like 2 antennas. I got one for the projector too, but I have one that I've had for like a long time, just rabbit ears. And it's weird. The one I got for the projector doesn't work super well. I can only get one of the channels, but then like the rabbit ears one that's hooked up to my TV that has like an antenna in works for both channels. So kind of interesting how that kind of works out. But it was, I remember it was an whole uproar on TikTok or on Twitter, and like, I don't fix it, and I don't believe this. How could it not be on YouTube? How could it only be on DirecTV? And I'm like, and then part of me, a couple people like, tweeted back to these like threads, and they're like, dude, just get an antenna. It's like $15. They're like, I got YouTube TV though, and all this, and it's like, and I kind of get it from that perspective because like, if I'm paying like $100 a month for like YouTube TV or Hulu Plus TV or whatever, I'd be pissed off too because I'd be like, yeah, I want this all on my thing, on my my subscription. I don't want to pay for another thing. Yeah, the antenna's inside. It's right up against my window, basically. So I'm able to... Sometimes I gotta play with it and move it around to get the signal. That tends to happen a lot. With the CSN channel, the CHN, this Chicago Sports Channel, it's been okay. But for Fox and CBS, sometimes I have to get like a different... I have to kind of move it. Sometimes with CBS it doesn't work. So like the Bears were playing on CBS a couple times this year. Sometimes I had to move it around just to get that signal. So it can kind of change, but I usually try to keep it as close. I mean, I keep it pretty much right on the window ledge. And that's what's funny, right? About now, like it's 2025. Like who would have thought that 2025, we're still playing around with antennas. And have to buy an antenna to watch your sports teams. Just like that kind of blows my mind a little bit. I was thinking about that a couple weeks ago. I'm like, that's crazy. Like it's 2025. Like, you think we'd have a better system than rocking with rabbit ears and trying to figure that out. I don't know. It's crazy, but yeah. And then I saw that the Chicago Sports Network channel that's on the antenna, they came out with an app where if you buy, you can watch every game, like every Bulls game, every Hawks game, every Sox game, but you have to pay. It's $20 a month, I believe, and it's for, so like if you just want to watch Bulls games, $20 a month. If you want to watch Hawks, it's $20 a month. And I'm like, ugh. I mean, like, I guess like I probably would do that for the Hawks if I couldn't get the channel at all, but I don't know. I saw that come out like in December, and I was on Twitter. They made an announcement. I was like, oh. Yeah. I think DirecTV, Vic, was actually one of the first ones that like picked it up, if I remember right. Or they might have been like the first or second like basically TV service provider that like picked it up. Cause like Comcast, I don't think ever did, or maybe they do now, but like when they first came out, they didn't. YouTube TV didn't. I remember, and that was a big uproar on Twitter. I remember seeing a lot, but yeah, DirecTV, I remember was maybe one of the first ones, if I remember right, which is good. So that's also why I think a lot of the bars too, like a lot of the bars in my neighborhood, like they have it on DirecTV, and like that's a thing. So yeah. But the antenna thing works fine for the most part. I mean, there's 2 channels, so there's some nights where obviously, like, if the Bulls and Hawks are playing, they're like playing on 2 different channels. But I don't know. Overall, it's fine. I mean, the picture comes in good from where I'm at for the most part. Comcast still doesn't have it. Yeah, I believe that. Yeah, that's why like at the beginning I think there was a whole uproar more with like YouTube TV than anything, but that makes sense that Comcast still doesn't have it. So, but yeah, it's okay. I mean, the signal and stuff is fine, but anyway, it works for what it is. I mean, I've had my antenna now forever. Like, I've had it for, I feel like 15 years. It's just rabbit ears, so it does the job for me and gets I get, obviously not just that, but I'll get, the Fox, ABC, NBC. There's also other channels too. You get like Me TV, that's a thing, and some other different like weird movie channels. PBS Kids, stuff like that comes on. So that's pretty cool. So it's not bad. On top of like with the other streaming services and free channels. I watch Pluto TV a lot too. That one's kind of cool. They play like movies and stuff like that. So I'll do that quite a bit too. That one's a fun one to watch, along with like YouTube and whatnot. So. Okay, cool. Well, I guess that's all I got. Try to clean up my poor man Nachos here and go from there. And yeah, I guess I'll be on. I'm gonna pop on tomorrow and show the beef jerky and how I went through that and how that worked, and go from there. So. Wait. I got a problem here. Okay, I'm back. All right, cool. Yeah, appreciate the live. Appreciate everyone coming on and watching here tonight for my second episode of Food Quest Passport Live. And yeah, I'll put a thing tomorrow. I'll pop on and show my beef jerky. That'll be really fun, and hopefully watch a Bears victory and go from there. So good night, everybody. Thank you so much.